Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank you for attending the webinar series, this webinar on Greek life and the impact that it has on college students. My name is Benita Jackson, and I'm your host. I am a 22-year-old graduate of Rusk College in Holly Springs, Mississippi. I'm a member of Theta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I have been a member since 2012, and through this time, I have gained a vast knowledge of the organization processes and knowledge of Greek life. What we're going to talk about tonight is how Greek life has a positive impact on college students. The first thing we're going to talk about is the negative energy or the negative nature that has been around Greek life, and what that is known as is hazing. Hazing, as defined by Merriam-Webster, is the practice of playing tricks on someone or forcing someone to do unpleasant things. The action of hazing is an initiation process involving harassment. A list of the top 10 worst college hazing rituals was published online on EliteDaily.com. Some of the items on that list include boiling hot water on the back, chest, or genitals, elephant walk, boob ranking, paddling, which is the most common. The full article can be found at EliteDaily.com. If you have a chance, go over there and check that out. What more recently publicized is the event that happened at UGA, the University of Georgia, with members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. 11 members of the Zeta Iota chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi were charged with hazing with one misdemeanor of high and aggravated nature, according to the Red and Black, an independent student newspaper at UGA. According to Jimmy Williamson, UGA's police chief, the pledgees were physically struck, and from interviews with other people, they determined that hazing had occurred. No deaths occurred behind these hazing activities. However, Chun Michael Bing was not so fortunate to survive his hazing activities. As reported by ABC News, Liz Fields, Dean died during fraternity initiation rituals with Pi Delta Psi, an Asian American fraternity. The full news story can be found at abcnews.com. However, these activities don't happen within every Greek organization. Hazing is also not the reputation that Greek life holds. Hazing is against national fraternity or sororities headquarters policies, as reported by the University at Missouri, Kansas City. Fraternity or sorority members strongly encourage within its community to uphold the ideas that they were founded upon, which include sisterhood, brotherhood, scholarship, leadership, philanthropy, and becoming better citizens of America. This webinar is about the 4 positive impacts that Greek life has on college students. The 4 positive impacts we're going to talk about tonight is scholarship, service, brotherhood and sisterhood, and leadership. Scholarship is the most important impact in Greek life. According to a study done at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, nationally, 71% of all fraternity and sorority members graduate, while only 50% of non-members graduate. Also, 30% of Fortune 500 executives are fraternity and sorority members. Joining Greek organizations poses a challenge to students by forcing them to balance academics while trying to experience the most that college has to offer. Greek organizations even host events during finals to promote scholarship. Often these events are study sessions that encourage others to come out and get help and socialize while working to achieve success on their finals. Here we have flyers from these organizations from hosting events, study sessions. Phi Beta Sigma fraternity is the one at the top, hosting an event called Study with the Sigmas. And at the bottom we have one from the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated with Study with the Deltas. Service is also a big part of being in a Greek organization. As a member of Greek organization, it is understood that taking care of the communities that we exist in is our responsibility. This includes adopting highways, cleaning up parks, volunteering to feed the hungry, or even going to read to the youth at the local elementary schools. As a member of a Black Greek letter organizations, I am aware that we also have youth auxiliary groups. My sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, has 3 auxiliary groups. These groups are established to encourage, motivate, and help young people to become upstanding citizens by allowing them to interact with others, participate in community service, fundraisers, and events such as etiquette classes, youth summits, and more. Here, I've found a few pictures from Greeks participating in community service. The picture to the left of the screen and the lower right are Greeks participating in a community service project hosted last year by the organization that does the Atlanta Greek Picnic every year. It's an event that takes place every year in June. And last year's community service project was at Atwood Community Garden in Atlanta, Georgia. Here, Greeks participated in planting fruits, vegetables, as well as cleaning up the area to make it look presentable to visiting guests that come to the area. In the top right, we have some members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, aka, doing a campus cleanup project. Brother and sisterhood. When joining a Greek organization, you are instantly locked into a family of brothers or sisters for life. Greek life offers participants a legitimate way of connecting with other students, according to College and Finance magazine. Through the experiences through Greek life, from studying together, hosting events, attending conferences and meetings, you build a bond with those members in your organization, whether on a local chapter level or a national organizational level. Members in the organizations come from different backgrounds, parts of the country, and even parts of the world, and they come together as one family in their organization. My sorority is an international organization, so we have chapters in Africa, in Australia, Europe, Asia. We're nationally known. We're internationally known, shall I say? And through these bonds, we have a biennial conference that we have every year, and members from chapters everywhere come out, and it's a time for bonding as well as learning experience and everything. So when you join into these organizations, that brother and sisterhood bond is really important, and it goes with you not just while you're in college, but it transfers outside of college to when you're finished with college. You can still call back on your brothers and sisters and say, hey, how you doing, checking up on you, go visit. When you're going out of town, you don't have anywhere to stay, you don't really have money for a hotel, you can say, hey, I know that you, when we were in college, or I know that you live in Chicago, I'm coming up there, can I crash at your house? Is it okay if I stay over for a couple of days? And most often, we're okay with it because that's what brothers and sisters do. It's almost like your biological brothers and sisters come to visit. And leadership. 48% of all U.S. presidents, 42% of the U.S. senators, and 30% of the U.S. congressmen and congresswomen are part of Greek organizations. Members in Greek organizations learn leadership skills through tasks such as holding chapter positions like president, treasurer, secretary. But these leadership skills don't just stay in the chapter. They go out. Once you graduated, members become, of course, as we said, presidents, U.S. senators. You have police officers, police chiefs, and all of these members are members of Greek organizations, and they learn the skills they have to hold these positions by being in these Greek organizations. You have members in Fortune 500 companies who are members of these Greek organizations, and they've used the skills and the networking skills and all to be successful in the positions that they are. So there are a ton of impacts that it has on your life, not just while you're in college, but outside of college. Joining my sorority has been one of the greatest experiences in my life. It's brought me friends that I never knew I would have, sisters that I have for life. It's taught me a lot of life lessons that, well, I may have learned at home, but it more so reiterated some things for me. So I think it's a great opportunity. If you are in college, or you know someone is going to college, encourage them to look into Greek life. It may be a fit for them. I'm not saying that it's a fit for everyone, but it's definitely a great opportunity to look into. Their great benefits. And no, hazing is not a part of what we do. Even my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, we have a campaign, Finer Women Don't Haze. And so I encourage people that if you are in a organization or you know somebody is, encourage them to not participate in any hazing activities. I thank you for attending this webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at bonitaejackson@gmail.com. I'll answer any questions. If I don't have the answer to your question, I will gladly direct you to someone who can answer your questions or at least get you directed in the right path. Once again, thank you and good night.